Hey, how's it going? How's your day been so far? What's going on in U-Town? I don't know. I don't know why I'm starting this video this way. I just decided that it would be a little bit more laid back than the usual start of my videos. And the usual start of my videos, if you're new here, would be, hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Gencon, and welcome back to another Gencon preview. I don't know why I said another. It's not actually another. I do have 3 Gencon preview videos planned. This is the first of them, though. This is the first one that'll be going up. This is going to be my Gencon preview of 15 small box games that I highly recommend you come home with if you don't already own. So, again, let's go for take 2. Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Gencon, and welcome to a Gencon preview list. We're going to be taking a look over at Board Game Geek, specifically over here on this page, because Board Game Geek has 549 titles up for preview over here. You can check out these 549 games, and I'll be recommending the 15 small box games that I think you should definitely be taking home if you haven't already. There's something, you see the difference? There's a small, I don't know why we're doing this. I don't know why I decided to do this in this video, but there's a small, subtle pitch between, conversational mode and presenter mode. I also realized presenter mode goes like 20% faster, so if I want to slow down by 20%, maybe I just go full conversation mode. So let's do that. Let's shift this video into a semi-conversation mode and a little less presenter mode and start again. But the problem is I don't know where it's going to go because I usually do presenter mode. So let's go back to the list over here and take 3. Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Gencon, and we're going to have a bit of a conversation. I don't know why. We're doing this. We have a whole bunch of games to go over. There's 549 games on the Gencon BGG preview list. This is something that I do every convention, most conventions, the large conventions, the one that BGG decides to throw their lists up, and I'll be doing it with Gencon right now because I have several of these planned, because Gencon is the most popular board game convention in the US, where I think the majority of my audience is. So even though Essen has more everything, frankly, and I will be covering Essen as well, I tend to do the most videos around Gencon, 3 specifically this year. I plan on having 15 small box games I recommend, 15 general larger box games I recommend, and then 15 games that I don't know enough to recommend and I want to know more about myself. Those are the 3 lists planned. I don't know the order I'm going to do these in, but they will be going up, one at a time in the not nearly enough time we have before Gencon hits us. To that end, we have 15 games over here we'll be going over. I will have timestamps and links to everything down below, and I'm using Board Game Geek's reference of the games that I can expect to see at Gencon to tell you these. I'll also be ranking these in order from least to most liked, although keep in mind, this is 15 games that I recommend from 549 games, granted, I guess, whatever portion of those were small box games. So to that end, even the number 15 is inherently something I've chosen. And with that, let's go ahead and start off with number 15, Verdant Arizona. Galen's Games is going to have 4 of their small box games. Verdant Arizona was my favorite from the ones that I played. I enjoyed the general puzzle of moving your cart around the board over here. Oh, no, image not available. I don't know what I did. I broke the internet. Why is the image not available? Image available now. I don't know what happened there. You're going to be moving your card over here trying to gather these, and there's a puzzle as far as how you're gathering these tiles. And I appreciated that puzzle. I thought that was the most interesting. Visually, this might be the least interesting from the 4 games, but mechanically, it was my favorite from the 4 games, so definitely check out Verdant Arizona if you have a chance. Then we have Perfect Mismatch over here. I haven't played this a lot, but I only got it like a week ago, and I've already played it several times since. This is coming to you from Red Cat Games, from Ares. Ares, I believe, is distributing it, all that, but Perfect Mismatch is a party game of trying to figure out how to communicate when you can't really communicate. You're going to have, this is a terrible picture because it only shows one half of the cards over there. Let's find a better picture where we see, nope, this is not showing the cards over here. Not showing this properly. Okay, I'll go back to the one half over here. In this picture over here, you're going to see a bunch of, there's this term. So we have interesting, for example. Now, strictly speaking, you would have a term on both sides. So you have interesting on one side, and let's say bouncy on the other. And then you have a specific word you're trying to help the players figure out, and you're doing so by trying to figure out, well, how interesting versus bouncy is this? Is it more interesting, or is it more bouncy? And you're doing that with 5 different attribute checks and hoping the players can figure it out. It's harder than it seems, and it's surprisingly fun. I personally enjoy it most in co-op mode, but there's a co-op and a competitive mode. Both have their advantages, but that's Perfect Mismatch. Definitely recommend checking it out as an interesting, different party game. We have Graft. Graft from Ivy Studios is a draft and push your luck game. That's what it is. It's a draft and push your luck game. You're going to be drafting various cards and then placing them down into your shipping manifest to ship them out. It's in the world of 10, and it has that shipping manifest aspect to it. So it has the art, it has the world, it has the thematic vibes. Mechanically, though, it's an entirely different beast. Whereas 10 is a game I wanted to like more than I did like. I liked it, but I liked it, not liked it. Graft is one that I really enjoyed playing through this one. I will have content for you on this as well. They did do a sponsored gameplay, so asterisks around that, but I very much enjoyed Graft, and I thought it was a very fun push-your-luck drafting game, which isn't something I've seen done a lot. We have Panda Spin. Panda Spin from Moongate Design is a fun flip shedding game, sort of. It's a shedding game. It's a shedding game where you're going to be shedding your cards, but you're also going to flip cards whenever you lose tricks. So you have this opportunity to plan around winning and to plan around losing, and it's a really clever little puzzle to figure out. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I just had a chance to play it recently at Dice Tower East, and it reminded me how much I enjoy the game, which is good because I haven't gotten rid of it yet. I do get rid of a lot of games, but Panda Spin I've held on to, and I'm glad I have because, first of all, the cards are shiny and very pretty, but more importantly, the game is actually very, very satisfying. I really like Panda Spin. I've enjoyed playing it. I'm excited for the expansion because I think it'll add that variability, which is the one main critique I had around it. We have another Ivy Studio game over here. We have Time to Panic. In fact, you're going to see a few repeat offenders in this list. Particularly All Play is going to show up several times because they do a lot of small box games. Ivy Studio with their line of games, I kind of enjoyed most of their new small box games, so they are going to be here. But Time to Panic is, vibes-wise, I'd say it's very similar to the game, or the game, more so the game than the mind, but there was another game that I also compared it to, but you're kind of trying to line things up. It's a cooperative puzzle in which you're trying to organize things so you can have a perfect line by the end of the game, but the problem is things are going wrong every single round, hence the name Time to Panic. At a certain point in the game, the amount of things that are wrong are going to stop, and then you'll be left just trying to fix all the things that, left that you can fix before time runs out. I really enjoyed this one a lot. It's a very satisfying puzzle as far as trying to figure out. It's a very satisfying puzzle of trying to figure out how to make things work in your favor while understanding that the game is constantly trying to mess you up. I really enjoyed this one. That's Time to Panic. We have Hercules and the 12 Labors. This one, honestly, I think it would be higher on the list. The problem is I only played like a few rounds of the game, so I've played this less than I want to say anything else I'm covering today, I think, with one sort of asterisk caveat. But Hercules and the 12 Labors, you're basically going through a solo puzzle of trying to assign dice to these various enemies that you're going to be facing off against, but they're going to be gaining rewards for taking them down, but they are hurting you every single round. So it's one of those games where you're just operating with a limited pool. Think things like 20 Strong. This game is actually strong, 20 Strong vibes. So if you like 20 Strong, I think Hercules and the 12 Labors is feeding into that same kind of gameplay type while being different enough to stand out. Really enjoyed this one. Again, I think it would be higher, but I haven't played it enough, so that's why it's only over here. Runes. Runes is another one. This is going to be all play. They have a bunch coming up on this list. We have a few all-play games coming up on this list, but Runes is one from John D. Clare. It's going to have another shedding game, but this time you're trying to focus on, you're trying to alter your cards. Actually, similar to Panda Spin. Panda Spin, you can alter your hand, and so same thing as what you're doing in Runes, but this time you're doing so with card crafting, which is a mechanic that John D. Clare really likes to utilize in his games, and I think he did so to good effect in Runes. I think it plays best at 3 and 4 players, but overall, I've really enjoyed this one. I think it's fantastic. It's a little... My one critique would be I think it leans into the chaos a bit too much. So if you want more control, I don't think this gives you as much control as some other games. Even like Panda Spin has much more control. Runes is a bit more chaotic. But if you like the fun of what's happening in the game, along with strategy, I think Runes definitely delivers. We have Twinkle Twinkle. This one I really had a lot of fun with. It's a medium box. There's a few in that medium box range we'll be talking about. But Twinkle Twinkle, also from All Play. You can check this one out on Board Game Arena if you want to try it out. I think it's fantastic, both in terms of the production value as well as the variable gameplay. I do think the base game does suffer from not enough variability. Like rating-wise, if you watch my original review, I have to double check, but I'm 90% sure I came in at a 3.5, with the caveat that I think the variability of the expansion content is what's going to bump it up to a 4 for me. I just got it in. I have not played the expansion content. I want to do so, but I do think that that's likely going to stand true. Like, it's coming at 6.9 on BGG. Again, that matches my 3.5 rating, but that's based on the base game. The expansion stuff gives you the variability that makes this, again, I also play this at Dice Tower East as well, where I just saw it set up at a table. I was like, great, I'll play a game, not with the expansions, unfortunately, because they didn't have them, but I got to play the base game again, which is still a satisfying little puzzle, but I think the expansion content is where it will really elevate to give you that additional variability. We have Compile Main 2, which supposedly will be available for sale at Gencon, at least according to the BGG preview list, so it might be available to buy at Gencon, we'll see. This was just recently picked up by Synapsis Games, previously from Greater Than Games, and went through a bit of a little drama as Greater Than Games shut down, but it is going to be available from Synapsis Games, which is nice, both for people who pre-ordered it, as well as people who want to be able to get more content from this game. But that's Compile. Compile is basically a lane battler. This is just a new version. This is actually, technically there's 2 asterisks. The asterisks are, I haven't played Compile 2, I've played Compile 1. That asterisk is going to be relevant later in this video as well. But Compile is basically a lane battling game where you're going to mix up different kinds of, different things. I don't remember what they are, but the things like peace and aggression and anger and sadness and other things. So basically these kind of attributes, and they all have different flavors, and you create a shared deck from these flavors, while you then have to win in each of your lanes. So it's a very fun lane battling system, lots of variability to the experience, and lots of tactical play, very rewarding. It's a good, if you like games like Airline and Sea, which I love, I think Compile leans into the same kind of vein. Then we have Rebel Princess Deluxe Edition Happily Never After. This is technically the expansion for Rebel Princess because that's newer, but honestly, Rebel Princess or this are both great games to get at. This, to be clear, needs Rebel Princess as an expansion, so it's not a standalone game. But this is going to be a trick-taking game, not a shedding game. It's a trick-taking game, but in this case, you're trying not to win the tricks, or at least not to win specific tricks that are worth the negative points in the game. So you're trying to be mindful of that as you basically try to reject all the suitors, up to and including the Frog Prince. The game is going to shine, but basically hearts. It's hearts, but it's hearts with all these abilities in play, because you have character abilities, but you also have abilities that are going to affect the round. Each round has a different thing that's going on as far as what's the shift in that round. Maybe the lead player plays their card face down and you don't actually know what you're following. There could be different kind of twists and adjustments to the game that all make for a chaotic and incredibly fun version of Hearts. I think Rebel Princess is fantastic, and this is just more expansion content for it. Then we have Pillars of Fate. We're down to number 5 over here. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 going. We have Pillars of Fate. This is my favorite one from the small box Ivy Studio games, which is actually kind of funny because I think Scales of Fate as well as Veiled Fate are both games that I enjoy, but they're definitely amongst my lower half of Ivy Studios games, whereas Pillars of Fate, I really like this one. It's another lane battling system, and I actually think I do prefer it. I think I prefer it more than Compile. I'll say I think because I've played Pillars of Fate once, and I've played Compile a bunch of times, so I do need more time to see if that rating goes up, down, so everything here is kind of, based on where I am with the game currently. But Pillars of Fate, based on my one play, was one of my better Ivy Studios games in terms of the feeling of the Fate series was captured in the game, but in a very different lane battling system, and I think I just like lane battlers, so I got the art of Veiled Fate, which I think is fantastic, but I got it in a lane battling system, which is much more to my personal taste. Then we have General Orders Sengoku Jidai. I have not played this game, but I have played the other General Orders game. I don't know what core differences there are, but the other game is basically a worker placement, a 2-player worker placement game with a lot of little tug-of-war, push and pull, trying to figure out what you're trying to get control of to get all the abilities or control, or just winning the game. I thought General Orders World War II was absolutely fantastic. I am curious if there are main gameplay changes here, or if this is just a different theme with minor adjustments like Ticket to Ride Europe. I don't fully know, but I think General Orders is fantastic. I still have it in my collection, and it's always a good time when I pull it out. So I'm very excited for General Orders Sengoku Jidai, which I did want this game with a different theme. Granted, I think I wanted like more of a space theme, but I'll take this because I don't really care for World War II themes. I'm not like against them. I just don't pull them. They don't pull me in. This one pulls me in a drop more, only a drop more though. So we'll see. Then coming in at number 3, we have Alibis. Alibis is fantastic. It's one of those all-play games that snuck up on me. Every time I play it, I have more fun with it. Well, that's not true. That would be an escalating scale. That's just a little weird. If every time you played a game you had more fun, but I did definitely played it the first time, and I thought to myself, well, this is kind of like Codenames and So Clover. I'd rather play So Clover. Now, to be fair, I'd still rather play So Clover, but I will say that I have seen people say they got rid of So Clover because of Alibis, and it has gotten to the point for me where I don't find that as offensive as I once would. I still prefer So Clover. They're both fantastic games, but Alibis is really, really excellent. It's one of the all-play games that has very much grown on me the more I've played the game, going from, hey, this is good, but other games do it, to no, this is a fun little tough puzzle. Works well at a variety of player counts. I still don't think I've played it at 2 players. I'd have to check. I don't think I've played it at 2, but I've played it from 3 all the way up to 6. I know that for sure. I think it's an absolutely fantastic as far as the gameplay experience that it provides, and it's so good. It's so good in terms of the challenge of you trying to link 2 words, and it does so in a way that's different than Codenames, that's different than So Clover, and really gives a very collaborative, challenging, and a little frustrating feel to the table. If you like Codenames, if you like So Clover, if you like that style of game, definitely check out Alibis. Coming in at number 2, we have Innovation. Innovation. This is going to be another small box game. The 4th edition, I believe, is going to be at Gencon. They have the new Deluxe Everything Edition. That's the little larger box. But the core games of Innovation are small and accessible and easy to get your hands on. And Innovation is fantastic. Probably my favorite game design system from Carl Shaduk. And it's one that has stood the test of time, being in my collection for well over 10 years from the original edition. At this point, I have the newest one. But every time I play Innovation, I have a blast. It's chaos. It's chaos. I think it's actually getting a wave of popularity currently. Shut Up and Sit Down just did a dedicated review of the game, just giving it accolades left, right, and center, which I think are well earned because Innovation is absolutely fantastic. I have critiques about it. I have things that make it not a perfect game for me, but I always have fun when I play it, and I don't think you can. I don't think you can take away from that. I think that's a huge part of it for me. Innovation is absolutely fantastic. Definitely recommend checking it out. Which brings me to my number 1 game, which is Codenames. Codenames Duet is the one I chose over here, but honestly, Codenames and Codenames Duet are both going to be at Gen Con, and you might be like, well, that's an older game. Why is it at Gen Con? It's because of their 10-year anniversary. They are basically, well, 10-year anniversary of Codenames, not Codenames Duet, but they basically do a refresh on Codenames, Codenames Pictures, and Codenames Duet. I don't know if Codenames Pictures is going to be ready for Gen Con quite yet, but the others are definitely going to be ready, the new refreshed version of them. If you haven't picked up the games, this is a good opportunity to do so. If you already have Codenames, I don't think you need the new additions. There's some small changes. Graphically, the box looks cooler. Well, cooler subjective, I guess. The card change, they made some changes to the card pool, the rule book, some things like that. You don't need to replace your copy of Codenames, but if you haven't gotten Codenames or Codenames Duet, they're both fantastic. Codenames Duet is a 2-player cooperative version, and then regular Codenames is fantastic for anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 players. You could play it with odd player counts. I always find it a bit less fun, like, you know, like who gets the extra player? Which team gets the extra player? You can figure it out, but you're basically calling someone else not as intelligent because they need the extra help. I mean, maybe you're doing that. I don't know. I like Codenames with even number of players, but either way, both Codenames Duet and Codenames are absolutely fantastic experiences, and if you haven't picked them up yet, this is definitely a good time to do so. And so that's my my list, my 15 recommendations of Gen Con small box games that I think you should check out and get your hands on if you haven't done so already. All of these are fantastic games, at least the ones I've played, which are basically everything except for Compile 2 and General Orders, and again, I've played the other versions of them, but they're all fantastic small box games. You can't go, well, you could go wrong, but that's because people have different opinions, and my opinion might not match yours, but I think they're great, so check them out if you haven't already. In any case, this is the first of our Gen Con videos. I will be back with 2 more. I don't know the order for them, but I'll be back with 2 more featuring 15 larger box games that I recommend, and 15 games that I personally want to know more about and don't already know a lot about right now. That'll probably be the shortest video because it'll be like, here's some art and why I'm excited about it. Because it could be publisher, art, designer, concept, but it won't be how to play the game in most of those cases because I want to know more about them, so that will be the shortest video. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.